The beach. That fun, peaceful place for a vacation from the stress of our daily lives, and a lovely autumn stroll along its shores can uplift your mood like nothing else. But sometimes, these peaceful moments are interrupted by an accidental discovery of some strange things that no one would expect to find anywhere, let alone the beach. Hello, and welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to take a look at 15 strangest things to wash up on beaches. The last one is straight out of a science fiction story. Number 1. Rubber duckies. Almost 25 years ago, a massive shipment containing over 28,000 rubber ducks was spilled in the Pacific Ocean, and these contents to date are still washing up ashore across the beaches of Canada, the US, Ecuador, Colombia, England, and even France. This is what people dubbed as the attack of the rubber ducks. It is estimated that back in 1992, the shipment first left Hong Kong and its contents were lost at sea. Since then, believe it or not, many of these rubber ducks were found on the shores of the Pacific. And if you happen to stumble across one on a beach trip, there's a good chance it might be from 25 years ago. Number 2. World War II love letters. They say love transcends all. Well, maybe even tumultuous sea waves and storms. Among the other strange things to have washed up on beaches, love letters from soldiers fighting in World War II destined for the US and other European countries spike the most interest, even though it will break your heart to read them. They were mostly written to wives and loved ones back home, but never reached their destination. This was probably the result of storms at sea and rough waters, leading to postal transports containing all these letters to lose many of them at sea. Years later, these were washed up on countless beaches across Europe, and visitors stumbled upon them. Number 3. Giant eyeball. A giant eyeball the size of a standard softball washed up onto the shore of Pompano Beach and was handed over to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. They received the massive eyeball for a thorough examination, and it was speculated that it was perhaps the eyeball of a giant squid, or fish, or a whale. However, the proper genetic examination needs to be done to determine with certainty as to what species the eyeball belongs to. Number 4. Harley Davidson. Of all the strange things to have washed ashore in different corners of the world, this was probably the most intriguing and stylish piece of junk to have been found. A rusty old Harley Davidson motorbike was washed ashore on the beach in British Columbia, Canada, by a local who attempted to find its owner and return it. It is believed that the bike originated from Miyagi, northern Japan, and then was swept into the Pacific Ocean by the Japanese tsunami back in 2012, before making its way to Canada. The motorbike managed to survive its trip from Japan to North America, finding its way among almost more than 1.5 million tons of debris that went into the Pacific as a result of the tsunami. Number 5. Robot hand. While taking a stroll along the seashore or vacationing on a beach trip, a robot hand being washed ashore is not something you would expect to discover. But this was pretty much the case here, as a robot hand was discovered on a beach near Great Kills Park Beach, New York, when a local found it on the beach taking a stroll along Staten Island shore. The details of where the intriguing piece of junk came from remain unknown. Number 6. Dinosaur femur. An entire dinosaur's thigh bone washed onto the shore of Washington Beach, which was hidden underwater for millions of years, and it became the first tangible proof of the fact that dinosaurs roamed Washington. After scientists looked into the bone structure and conducted studies on it, it was identified to belong to a theropod that resembled the ferocious T-Rex and the Velociraptor. This was not just a bizarre discovery like the Harley-Davidson bike or giant squid eyes washing up on the beach, but an important discovery of an 80 million years old fossil and a feat for mankind researching prehistoric life. Number 7. Sea pickles. As if finding a prehistoric dinosaur femur was not bizarre enough to have washed up on a beach, sea pickles, also known as Pyrosoma atlanticum, were also found on many shores across the globe. What are sea pickles anyway? They are a free-floating biological colony of thousands of tiny multicellular marine animals called zooids. Though they mostly stay in the ocean, yet they can find themselves washed up on beaches from time to time when the tide starts to roll in. They get their name from their appearance that resembles a pickle, but it's a misnomer, as I would not suggest eating them at all. Number 8. Airplanes. Among all the strange things that have managed to find their way onto a beach, airplanes are perhaps the most common. Numerous airplanes have been discovered from time to time. While some have remained identified, many remain unrecognized, most of which are believed to be the result of a crash, emergency water landings, or some are even believed to be remnants of warplanes from the past. One such finding worth mentioning is the discovery of a rare World War fighter plane. Known as the Maid of Harlech, The United States Army Air Force fighter crashed on the Gwynedd coast when it was taking part in training exercises and its engines cut out. 60 years later, it was discovered on the shores of a Welsh beach. Number 9. Couch. This discovery was also brought to the attention of the world through a Reddit post when a local posted the picture of a couch that appeared at the local Washington beach covered in seaweed and moss. Nobody knows where it could have come from, but it makes you think, what else could the sea spit out on its shores these days? Who knows, the owners may have had enough with this piece of furniture and decided to say goodbye to it in an old-fashioned way. Just kidding, but really, how would you explain a couch lost to the seawaters? Any ideas? Let us know in the comment section below. Number 10. Conjoined dolphins. Talking about the 15 strangest things to wash up on beaches, the conjoined dolphins that washed up on a beach in Izmir, Turkey surely count as one of them. This shocking discovery had left awestruck every tourist who was present on the beach that day. It was found out that the two-headed dolphin was only 12 months old and a meter long. It is believed to have washed up on the beach during a terrible storm the previous night. Though dolphins being washed up on the shore is a common sighting, yet it was the first time a conjoined dolphin was seen, and that surely couldn't have been a pretty picture. Number 11. Barge. A massive barge measuring nearly 40 tons, 200 feet long, 40 feet wide, and 8 feet tall washed up on the shores of St. Pete Beach in Florida in 2018. With its massive size, it's a matter to ponder over how this barge managed to just simply wash onto the shore. The discovery was made by vacationers at St. Pete Beach, and they sure don't wish to make similar discoveries anytime soon. Number 12. Sea glass creatures. Blue glass-like sea creatures, very much like jellyfish, which have a flat, transparent float and a triangular sail, appear on the U.S. shores almost every 4 to 6 weeks. Their body structure allows the wind to navigate them through the sea, and in case the winds pick up, they find themselves stranded on the coast. These are harmless creatures, and their irregular appearance has caused some concern regarding the well-being of the species, but studies have shown that there's not much to worry about. Number 13. Snowballs. Of all the bizarre discoveries made on seashores, this one is the most confusing. Back in November 2016, thousands of snowballs appeared on an 11-mile stretch on the Russian coastline along a beach in Siberia in the Arctic Circle. This was a random discovery and has been one of the first times something like this has ever been seen. It is believed that these snowballs were formed by wind and cold weather. Number 14. The missing dice. A giant missing dice appeared on the shores of a local U.S. beach, which is not something you would expect to discover on a seashore. I mean, who would even play with such a huge dice, and how would it even end up lost at sea to have washed ashore? A Reddit user used the online forum to share the photo of the giant-sized dice, and nobody has any idea as to where it might have come from. Number 15. Scary fish. More than half of marine life is still unknown to mankind, so one could expect to find really weird and bizarre-looking creatures in the great unknown depth of the sea. But to have them wash up on the beach and look as horrible as this scary creature found on the Australian Mooloolaba beach could frighten any grown man. The fish is believed to live in some of the deepest parts of the sea and is a rare species, having very sharp teeth and dark scales that give it a gruesome appearance, and is named the hellfish. Tell us in the comment section below the strangest find you stumbled upon on the beach. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more amazing videos. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.